Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come once again for all of you to shut up and sit down. Tonight is a big night. To kick off the show, we have a tag team matchup to determine the final 2 spots in the Royal Rumble match at Sudden Death for Mayhem. That will officially take up all of the spots for Mayhem. The only spot that is still technically not confirmed is Mason Foster's. But should he lose the title tonight or next week, his spot will be filled by someone else. But congrats to everybody who made it to the Rumble, but I wouldn't get too excited because only one of you could walk out the winner, and it may not even be on this brand. We are 5 shows out from the beginning of the road to Insomnia, and therefore that means your chance to become a WIW superstar is running out for all of you. So if you want to be on the show, be sure to fill out your applications now, both men and women, to join the Road to Glory Tournament Season 2, which I can already promise is going to be bigger and better than Season 1. This time, the finals, I can confirm, will be on the grandest stage of them all, Insomnia. So don't miss out, because it may be a while before it comes back around again to get a contract. That's all for now. It's time to fill the Rumble spots for Mayhem. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome to another episode of Monday Night Mayhem, episode number 95. We are just 5 shows away from the amazing spectacle that is going to be one of the biggest pay-per-views to date, at least until Insomnia hits, and that is episode 100's Sudden Death pay-per-view. I am so hyped for it, I hope you guys are as well. And to kick off tonight's show, a tag team match for the final 2 spots in the Royal Rumble match. And the first team down to the ring, making their return, and what is probably for them the walk of shame down to the ring after losing the tag team titles and their rematch clause to it, Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green, the linebacks. Former NFL prospects, didn't get drafted. They've come here under the aid of Coach Wilson to become one of the most dominant tag teams we've seen on Mayhem. However, they lost their grip and their control, and that cost them the tag team titles. And they are now around the waist of the League of Gods, who will be defending against Justice at the pay-per-view. Both Justice and the League of Gods will be involved in tonight's main event. You will see that when it comes. But for tonight, Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green get a chance at a little bit of redemption if they can get themselves the final 2 spots in the Rumble. And this is amazing. I can't believe we've actually got here. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. The final 2 spots up for grab The only exception to that is if Mason Foster loses his championship before sudden death. If that happens, we have one more spot available. If not, the final 2 spots are up for grabs between the linebacks and these two. Max and Brett Cotterrell, the Cotterrells, ready to return to the ring. They've been out for some time, trying to hone in their skills again, trying to work on their tag team abilities, because we know they're a good tag team. They just haven't shown it at the upcoming last couple of weeks. But for Max and Brett, the Cotterrells, former trial era champions, but we are long past the trial era now, ladies and gentlemen. And for Max and Brett, it's a matter of showing what they can do. And if they can make it to the Royal Rumble, and it would be big for Max, that would complete the set for Max. He was in the Money in the Bank ladder match the first time round. Didn't really prioritize the briefcase, he more prioritized beating the living hell out of everybody else. But he would not only be in that, he'd also be in the Royal Rumble match. Here we go. The crowd are hyped. The final 2 spots up for grabs. And look at Kazari and Xander going straight for it. You can't imagine how big this win would be for both of these teams. Xander and Green, after what they would consider a humiliating loss to the League of Gods, on not just on one occasion, on 2 occasions. It's not the best of times for Xander and Green, and Coach Wilson trying to do whatever he can do to get them back on track, which is why he's trying to pull the strings to get these guys into the Royal Rumble. But they can't afford to let him down again. Xander and Green desperately need to get themselves back on track. And could you imagine if Xander and Green don't make it to Insomnia? That's just a crazy thought in my eyes, because they've been one of the most dominant teams in all of WIW. They have been Mayhem Tag Team Champions for a long time. They've beaten the Fight Night Tag Team Champions, the Wolfpack, on multiple occasions. They have been competing. They've been one of the top teams. I can't imagine not seeing the linebacks at Insomnia. And maybe this could be the way they book their tickets. Will they cash in individually though if they won, or would they go in as a team and request a shot for the Mayhem Tag Team titles at Insomnia? I don't know. But for the Cotterrells, you feel they're going to need it a bit more. Look at this! Chaos breaking out in the lineback's corner because a chair's been tossed in, and the distraction from Patrick Green as Kazari and Xander, usually the closer for the team, who has started us off under a bit of pressure, but he does tag out. And already, look at this, Coach Wilson getting into a ruck with the referee, who has never been the biggest fan of Coach Wilson, but then again, never rejects Coach Wilson despite all the interruptions he can make during a match. Coach Wilson, he's been a loyal servant to the Lionbacks, one of the best managers we have in the business. And he's been coaching the Lionbacks since their debut. But I think they're starting to lose his trust. He put a lot of faith, a lot of stock into these two. And he does everything every single time they're out there to make sure they pick up the victory. And so far, they just haven't delivered for him. And of course, yeah, as I mentioned, for Brett and Max, this is a huge opportunity for those two. If they can get themselves into the Rumble, not only does it complete the set for Max being in the Money in the Bank ladder match and in the Royal Rumble match, but it will also, of course, re-establish their ways back. Of course, what a big win to get back in the tag team division than the former two-time Mayhem Tag Team Champions. The Cotterrells, they've been up and down. They don't know what they're going to do at this point. They need something to show that this year wasn't a complete waste, that this year wasn't the worst year of their wrestling careers, and a Royal Rumble opportunity could do just that. And especially, could you imagine Brett or Max capturing a championship opportunity for either the World or the Heavyweight Championship? I think a lot of people would know that Max Cotterrell was definitely capable of it. A lot of people have seen Max Cotterrell in solo action. Brett really has been the letdown for the Cotterrells this year. And last year, I wouldn't say it's the other way around. I say they worked really well last year, but it's been a bit of a struggle for Brett to keep up because he's relied on his strength and his powerhouse abilities. But the truth is, he really isn't the strongest man anymore, as the linebacks are proving here with a beautiful suplex. Trying to prove their point as best as they can. The final two spots up for grabs in this Royal Rumble. We'll see who gets them right after this break. Torres, the new fragrance by Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to this tag team matchup for the final 2 spots in the Royal Rumble match at Sudden Death pay-per-view. And of course we are watching the Cotterrells taking on the Linebacks, the 2-time tag team champions, in their own right, trying to rebuild their ways a bit after a couple of losses as of late, but they might be adding one more to the list here as Brett lands that scoop up slam into the headbutt. Very nicely done by Brett, and into the cover, but Coach Wilson sensed the danger and had already distracted the referee prior to it. And now Brett confronting him after that, but he didn't see Patrick Green getting up behind. He spun it around though, and the Cotterrells are looking very impressive in this matchup. But of course they've got to impress. They've had such a terrible year. They need to finally get a win to get themselves back on track. Of course these two will make up the final spot if they can get it. Hold on a minute. We might be looking at the end very near. Oh no, Brett, he knows that one's not going to be enough, so he's going to need a big one here. He knows that one full of man won't do the trick, so he needs something big. Oh, look at the impact. And he bounces off on the outside, off the superplex, and look at that. Brett signaling it's over. And of course, as I've mentioned, we have the final 2 spots in this match, so big stakes. And of course, if you haven't been following, here are your other 10 men. Of course, one of them still yet to be 100% confirmed, but he's getting closer and closer to confirming his Royal Rumble spot. And here are the Mayhem 12. Of course, whoever wins this match, they will make up 2 spots. We then have, in order of which they managed to grab their spots, Robert Hall, Jaden, Oliver Regem, Dixon, Brad Skeens, Stephen Miller, Travis Cottrell, Mason Foster if he makes it, Austin Creed, and Jax Wolf. And look at that sequence! What a sequence! Straight out of the running haymaker into a spear. I didn't see that coming. I don't think Max did, but Max makes the save at 2, and he had to there because what a combination! Just takes him off the apron. What a sequence there from Patrick Green. Didn't go for the blitz, just tried to wrap it up. And what a beautiful sequence there. I wish we could see that again on the action replay. I think I am watching it again on action replay. That was a very nice sequence. He very rarely does it like that. The running haymaker usually sets him up for a spear later on, or sends him to the corner for the blitz. Instead, he just goes straight into the spear as he ricochets off of the corner. And now Brett going to show his strength. He is supposed to be the powerhouse of the team. And he's struggling here, so no wonder he's going to ask for the tag. Oh, wait, no, just going to wait. I thought maybe going for it. He has decided to go for it. It took a minute to anticipate it there. And of course, on Fight Night, there are 3 spots still available for people to participate in. So maybe we'll be seeing another tag team match. We already have 2 tag teams entering this this match, of course. KO Oxley and Carter James, they've already booked their place. They did that as the pre-show of Danger Zone, I believe it was. Oh, look at that. And we have blood. We have blood from the elbows. Very vicious elbows from Kazarian Xander. He didn't even need the DDT to bust him open. Might be ready to go for it now, though. Looking for the DDT. Leg sweeping DDT by Kazarian Xander. And straight into the cover. Is that going to be enough to keep down a bleeding Max Cottrell? Yes, it is. The linebacks, Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green, complete the lineup, and Xander and Green are going to the Royal Rumble match. The Cotterrells, they put up a great showing, but in the end, look at this. This was the combination, the running haymaker, and straight into a spear before he even had time to react. And it was this devastating DDT that usually gets the job done, and it's done so right here. And the linebacks get a huge bounce back victory, and it gives them spot number 11 and spot number 12 for the Mayhem brand. And Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green book their spots in the Royal Rumble match. that completes the set, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone from Mayhem has been chosen. The only opportunity that may be left is if Mason Foster is to lose his championship tonight or the next night on Monday Night Mayhem. We'll have to wait and see if that does happen. But Kazarian Zander and Patrick Green complete the set with a very big win here tonight to start us off. Let's move on down the rest of the card. Women's division action up next, and it is a triple threat match between all of the contenders who will be going to face for Hallie Bowen's title at sudden death for the Mayhem Women's Championship, that is. It's a triple threat between Lulu Torres, Adrian Reyes, and the first woman who is coming down to the ring, the former Mayhem Women's Champion herself, Sandra Piper, who I'm sure is not going to be too happy that she's going to have to deal with two women. You know, they're going to have to deal with two added women than she'd like. I'm sure she would have loved to get Bowen by herself. Of course, she probably would blame the triple threat circumstances as to why she lost, but she can't even use that excuse because that wasn't the case. She was pinned fair and square, and it didn't really matter what else had happened. But for Sandra Piper, who has been this year the most dominant woman in WIW, has lost their title right before the road to Insomnia, and the question of whether or not she's going to get the opportunity to get it back is going to be determined really based on this weekend. Well, not this weekend. Well, it's this weekend in real time, but for them, it's 2 weeks away. So they need a big performance here tonight to get some momentum. But for Sandra Piper, this is about destroying her opponents before the pay-per-view. And here's someone that she has come to know really, really well. Lulu Torres makes her way down to the ring. Has been one of Sandra Piper's biggest adversaries. However, she just always falls short of getting the job done against her. She's beaten her in the past, and I'm sure she'll love to do that again here tonight. Of course, she having a little bit of a friendship with Adrian Reyes, of course, who will also be in this match tonight. But I don't know how long that friendship will last when both of them will be competing, and it'll be everybody for themselves at the pay-per-view. But they managed to work together to get this opportunity in the first place, and I'm sure they are glad that they did. Final woman down to the ring, former manager of the Starboy, Yella Strelichico, Adrian Reyes, making her way down to the ring to compete once again for the Mayhem Women's Championship. She had a Mayhem Women's Championship opportunity at Crash Course, and of course that saw Hallie Bowen take the championship away from the champion Sandra Piper, but now she gets one more shot, one more opportunity at getting the championship. And you've got to say that Torres and Reyes, they definitely earned it. They definitely earned their shots, and now it's just a matter of whether or not they can actually get the job done and take home the championship. She's a very confident fighter, Reyes, but the question still remains whether or not she has what it takes to get it done. Of course, Bowen, we've seen match the strength of Piper in the past. Lulu Torres, very smart, tactical fighter, knows her way around Sandra Piper as well. She's faced her more than enough times to know what she's capable of. Sandra Piper, of course, relies on her pure strength and power and brute force and does not hold back whatsoever. Reyes, of course, probably with a unique advantage of speed and agility, and of course, you'd think most of the women in the women's division would have that. Not naturally, that is for sure. And of course, ladies, be sure to remember that if you haven't signed up for the women's match, the women's Road to Glory for Road to Glory Season 2, be sure to do that now. The link to the document, to the application, will be on my personal, be on my Twitter, which is at the Gaming Blake, I believe. I will leave the link to it in the description. As always, big suplex for Sandra Piper. But the docs is there for both the men and the women. And the women's division tournament is stacking up very nicely. We've got some fantastic competitors in the women's division competing from all around the world, just as we do the men. So be sure to not miss out on your opportunity, because we might not be having another one for quite some time. So be sure not to miss out on your opportunity to become a WIW superstar and get yourself filling out an application. Meanwhile, look at this. Nice bit of double team work here to take out Lulu Torres. Now Reyes, of course, really did put on a fight against Sandra Piper at Crash Course in the triple threat. But Sandra Piper, as we know, it takes more than enough, it takes a lot to keep this woman down. And now trying to keep Lulu Torres down. Headbutt barrage already. And that's what I'm saying, it just takes nothing. It's almost effortless for this woman to get charged up. And she's ready to finish this one off already. Tilt-a-wall slam. And straight into the cover. Reyes is back to her feet though. And she saves the match from what was certain defeat. And now look at this Piper. Now showing some agility of her own. And look at this. She's a beast of a woman. Such a monstrous fighter. She constantly impresses me. Never fails to impress. She really does know her way around this ring. But Reyes, of course, was helped Hallie Bowen keep her down. She's kept her down now. And now she's going to try and steal the pin here on Lulu Torres. Way too late to be trying that. Torres had plenty of time to rest up. And of course, the women's division. We already know pretty much everything that's sorted. That's why we haven't seen too much of the women's action. Of course, we know these three will be competing in a fatal four-way with Hallie Bowen for the Mayhem Women's Championship. And of course, we know the other four women, or at least we did know the other four women competing. But now there is one vacant spot, as it is confirmed that Elliot Rogers will not be able to compete. She's still out with injuries that she suffered against Laura Stables, who is now Sandra Piper, who is now choking out Adrian Reyes. This has killed so many people. This is exactly what put Rogers into hospital, and she's the first person I think I've seen break out of it. And look at Piper in complete control, just destroying everybody in this match. And not again. She only just got up from the first one. Tilt-a-wall slam again. And now trying to deal with Reyes. Oh, but Reyes steals it. Oh my god, Reyes might have stolen it. Reyes might have stolen this one here. Into the cover. Has she got it? Yes, no. That was a 3, I swear. I could have sworn I saw the hand go down for a count of 3. She just kicks out. Big kick out by Lulu Torres. And Sandra Piper nearly had this match stolen from her by Adrian Reyes, who throws her out of the ring in a desperate attempt to throw it out. And okay, well, as I was saying, of course, we have Catherine Albright, Tiffany Abbott, and Leia Rose competing for Mayhem. And so far, we have confirmed that Isabella Vega and Tashley will be competing for Fight Night. And of course, there will be a mystery contestant filling in the Mayhem spot for the women's division. We don't know who that is yet, but we will find out. And right now, in this matchup, Sandra Piper in complete control. No one's even getting close to slowing her down. A third tilt-a-wall slam. Good night. She's not kicking out again. Oh, wait a minute. Reyes back to her feet. No, is she going to save it? No, she's not. Sandra Piper, too dominant in this match. And did you see that stare down between Piper and Reyes? Piper telling her to run, basically. Another dominating performance from Sandra Piper, who continues to dominate here in the women's division. This was where the match was almost stolen from her. But she does it again. She picks up the win, and she's back to her winning ways that she used to be on. But now she needs to continue this momentum and carry it through. And look at her. She hardly even celebrates anymore. She knows how dominant she is. She doesn't need to celebrate. She's been dominant the whole way through. And Sandra Piper has done it again. She picks up another huge victory coming into the pay-per-view. Will she be able to take back her title and become a 2-time women's champion? Or will Bowen be able to retain the championship? Or will Reyes and Torres find a way to take the title for themselves? We'll have to find out at sudden death, but we get closer and closer to it as we move on down the rest of the card. The stakes rise higher for this matchup as we have run out of Rumble spots. Mason Foster defends the European Championship once again against a mystery opponent, but he's got to do it now more than ever. Because remember, he doesn't get a Royal Rumble spot if he loses the championship. Oh my! Oh my god, no! Stephen Miller! The general manager making it harder and harder each week to retain the title. And now for his first ever one-on-one championship match, the real deal, Stephen Miller is facing Mason Foster for the European Championship. One of the hardest men to beat in WIW. He has been on a bit of a slope as of late though, so maybe Mason Foster can use that to his advantage. But Stephen Miller, this could be problematic. Remember, he has to defend tonight and next Monday to stay in the Royal Rumble. Stephen Miller, he already has a Royal Rumble spot. He doesn't even need to concern himself with that. All that matters for him tonight is winning the European Championship. It could be his first ever championship if he can walk out the winner tonight against this man. A fan favourite, a true spectacle to watch in the ring. It is the Welsh Wonder Boy, the Welsh Dragon, the European Champion, Mason Foster, who makes his way down to the ring and smiles because he knows that he's just got himself in a big matchup. Mason Foster and Stephen Miller, these two have a very big history with each other. Of course, they had their debuts against each other, I believe that was what happened. Or maybe one of them had debuted against the other. I'm not too sure. But they went back and forth for weeks trying to see who the better man was, but most of the time, Steve Miller came out on top. And then eventually they ended up joining forces to deal with Lachlan, which led to a match at Fatality, where Mason Foster walked out the winner. And Mason Foster, his second reign as European Champion, it's been a lot more successful than his first. But tonight, he faces by far his toughest challenge yet. Mason Foster defending the European Championship against Steve Miller. Remember, if he loses, he's not going to the Rumble, and he has a sudden death rematch clause to cash in against Steve Miller. And as for Steve Miller, of course, that means he'll be going into the European Championship match and into the Royal Rumble match. The challenger, Steve Miller, with pretty much all the pressure on Mason Foster, this could be his best chance to take the European Championship. One of the toughest men to beat in WIW, but yet never captured gold. Can he finally end that drought tonight and capture the European Championship from this man, the champion? The champion who has stepped up and taken on several big names here in WIW, and he's knocked them all back down with such ease. He is 2 title defenses away. That's all he's got to do, 2 more defense, and he is going to the Royal Rumble as the European Champion in what is technically the last spot still up for grabs for the European Champion. It's the only spot left. If he loses, that spot will probably be given to somebody else. But if he wins, then of course that's the entire Rumble filled for the Mayhem division. Hands over the European Championship very reluctantly there. Did you see the hesitation as he hands it over? He senses this is about to be the toughest match yet. When these two collided in the past, it was usually Stephen Miller that came out on top. But it's now time for Mason Foster, who has grown a lot since then, to turn the tide. And as usual, he shakes the hands of his opponents. Mason Foster with so much respect. That's why he's a fan favourite. The bell rings, and away we go for what is going to be one huge matchup. Went straight into a drop kick, but Mason Foster didn't fall. And I don't think Steve Miller was expecting that as he turned around. Suplex by Mason Foster. And I don't think he was expecting him to just eat the suplex, eat the drop kick like he did. Strong start from Mason Foster. Another quick rundown of everyone who is now confirmed to be competing in the Royal Rumble from the Mayhem side. We have Robert Hall, Jaden, Oliver Regem, Dixon, Brad Skeens, Steve Miller, who's in this match tonight, Travis Cottrell, Mason Foster if he can continue to defend, Jax Wolf, Kazarian Zander, and Patrick Green, who earned their opportunities earlier on tonight by beating the Cottrells. Oh, look at that, went for a spin. And once again, Mason doesn't fall. Mason, maybe he really has done his homework, and he's finally seeing what he has to do to keep Steve Miller down. These two have battled many times in the past, so it's no surprise that they know each other like the back of their hands. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see blood flowing in this one. They may be friends, they may have worked together in the past, but tonight, it's all about the European Championship. Only one of them will hold it going into sudden death. Look at that, tried to break it, but it went into a straight jacket suplex. Very nicely done there. Avoided the full Nelson, but still gets hit with a suplex. But I've got to say, Mason Foster is looking very impressive out the gate so far. Miller trying everything he can, but Mason Foster just kind of shrugging it all off, just kind of no-selling everything. And now into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Steve Miller? Very much doubt it. And it was only a 1. Mason Foster and Steve Miller, 2 of the top guys on Monday Night Mayhem. Of course, Steve Miller, the real deal. Mason Foster, the Welsh wonder boy. Oh, look at this! Oh! Oh, well dodged there. Very well dodged. That could have been it for him right there on the spinning heel kick. Mason Foster set it up perfectly, but Steve Miller able to sidestep. But Steve Miller still under the fire. Still under the pressure. Mason Foster has not backed down from this challenge tonight. He has retained so far against Jaden, Robert Hall, and who did he defend against last week? I've forgotten. Oliver Regem, that's the one. So, I might have said Oliver Regem twice. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he definitely defended against Oliver Regem last week. Robert Hall and Jaden. And I believe there was one more before that. Obviously, Jax Wolf cashed in his rematch clause for the European Championship. He was unsuccessful. And now Jax Wolf, of course, already with a spot in the Royal Rumble match himself. I'm sure he'll be looking to push on for bigger and better things if he can get it. Mason Foster, this has been really impressive so far. He's looked absolutely brilliant. And Stephen Miller just doesn't have an answer to it. And now what's he doing? Shushing the crowd here. Mason Foster is feeling it tonight. He is confident. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? 2 count. And Steve Miller under a lot of heavy fire. He needs to mount some big offense because Mason Foster is ready to put this one away. Looking for the DDT. Butterfly DDT. Hooks the arms. Got him. No way. And almost effortlessly. Mason Foster. No. And I was about to say he's retained the title, but no, he hasn't. Mason Foster couldn't get the job done. But plays to the crowd because he knows he's in complete control of this match. Steve Miller. Steve Miller. He needs to get into some shape. What has happened to Steve Miller as of late? Really struggling to pick up wins. And tonight has really not even got going in this match. Hardly mounted any moves forward, and Mason Foster right now with an answer to everything that Steve Miller is bringing to the table. That's more like it from the real deal. And Steve Miller playing to the crowd almost to say he has a plan. He knows how to get himself back in this match. I didn't think that it would be this easy to keep down Steve Miller. We knew it would be difficult to pin him, and he's proven that in the past. But right now, he's proving a very easy task for the European champion, Mason Foster. And it just shows how much times can change. Mason Foster gets better and better every single week. Stephen Miller is the same. But Mason Foster finally has done his homework enough, and he might finally bury his demons and get rid of Stephen Miller. Superplex. Is that going to be enough in the middle of the ring to get this done? Another kick out by Stephen Miller. The real deal has been in several championship matches over the last couple of months. Has been unable to capture it. European Championship being one of them, right before Mason Foster captured it back from Jax Wolf. Mason Foster continuing to dominate. Look at this! Beautiful senton from the middle rope. And now Mason Foster spinning him around. Steve Miller in a bad way. He needs to start mounting some offense. There's the counter. Can he now mount some offense? Irish whip to the ropes. Oh, went for a spear, but once again Foster stands up. What is going on? Steve Miller just can't even seem to hurt him right now. Irish whip again. Ducks under this time. And again. What's Steve Miller got in store? One more duck. Oh, and he's done too many. And Mason Foster caught himself. Did you see that stare down? Steve Miller almost confused at how Mason's able to deal with all this. And look at this. Once again countered. What is Steve Miller trying to do here? Right now, all Steve Miller's doing is embarrassing himself. He needs to be careful now because Mason Foster continues to build a full head of steam. Falcon Arrow. And straight into the cover off the Falcon Arrow. Just trying to make it harder for him to kick out every time. But Steve Miller once again found a way out. But he's getting the beatdown of a lifetime right now. I have never seen this much damage non-retaliated from anyone in WIW. This is insane. But now Steve Miller has a chance to start fighting back, and he can do that here. Finally, mounting some offense. Big knee to the head of Foster, and another big knee. And one more for good measure. European Championship on the line. He hasn't done well under pressure of title matches before, but now... Oh, wait a minute! Oh, wait a minute! Where did this come from? Submission hold applied! Right near the ropes! Foster might be in jeopardy here! This is like the only move he's locked in the whole match, but he might just have this. Trying to hook the ropes, he got it! He hooks the ropes and Steve Miller is forced to break it up. Now playing to the crowd, Steve Miller. And that just shows the lethalness of Steve Miller into the cover following the rope break. 2 count. And that just shows the real deal Stephen Miller can turn the tide in the match for a matter of moments. And now thinking tie driver. Where all of a sudden does all this come from? Tie driver. No, Mason Foster says no. Foster says no. Trying to duck under the clothesline, still gets met with it. And now he's thinking tie driver again. What is Steve Miller made of? How the hell has he got this? No way! Tie driver! Tie driver! Foster's down! No way! This can't be! How's Steve Miller, as he goes into the cover, captured the European Championship? No! 2 count! Where on earth did Steve Miller just come back from? Back from the dead almost. Tried the tie driver the first time, didn't connect. Second time round, better results, but still not enough to put him away, especially when he failed to lock in, failed to get him with the submission. Steve Miller, oh, he caught him. He busted him open with the elbow, and look at Steve Miller, not in a good place. He's tried mounting offense. It failed, and now this might be it. There's the DDT again. Hooks the leg, and Mason Foster destroys Stephen Miller and retains the European Championship. That is unbelievable. Steve Miller tried to pull it back at the end there, but I have never seen such dominance in that ring as we just saw there. That was absolutely insane. Mason Foster, I've never seen put on a match like that before. Complete control almost from start to finish. There was a brief 10-second period where the submission came in and the tie driver almost wrapped it up, but unbelievably, in spectacular fashion, Steve Miller picks up, I believe, his first loss to Mason Foster. Well, Steve Miller really has not been in great form. He still has a Rumble spot to look forward to, but Steve Miller has been on a downward slope this last couple of weeks. And this man continues to propel to the top. The dream is still alive. Next week is his final match. If he can defend next week, and if he can do it as well as he did this week, he will be going to the Royal Rumble match. And I tell you what, not much is slowing him down right now, but can the European champion, Mason Foster, make his dream come true and get himself a spot in the Rumble as the European champion? What an amazing contest that was, and Mason Foster probably put on the performance of a lifetime. It's time to move on to tonight's main event though. Big win from the European champion. Main event of the evening then, and it's a big one. It is a 6-man tornado tag team match between challengers and champions, and the first man down to the ring is SDC, the self-proclaimed hero of wrestling, recognizing on Twitter that this is by far one of the biggest challenges of his career to date. The hero of wrestling, once again at sudden death, will face for the WIW Championship against Aaron Albright in a direct rematch. And of course, as the pay-per-view sudden death will mark the beginning of the road to Insomnia, it's do or die really for SDC. He won't be in the Rumble. He has gambled everything on this matchup, so he has to capture it here tonight. He knows he has to. It's a big ask for him. He has to do what he didn't last week, that he didn't do at the last pay-per-view. But can he do it? Can the hero of wrestling finally, conquer his demons and defeat Aaron Albright for the championship? And here we go. His tag team partners will be coming down to the ring shortly. Tonight he is accompanied by the Mayhem Tag Team Champions, who of course are preparing for their own championship match as well, because they have big matchup coming up against Justice. Justice have already been sending their messages, sending their warnings to the Mayhem Tag Team Champions, Damas and Black Jesus. They've sent their warnings. The first shots have been fired, but who will get the last laugh at sudden death, we'll have to wait and see. But tonight, a chance to get a shot in, so that they can get some momentum coming into the pay-per-view. Big ask for Damas and Black Jesus. Of course, I don't know what their conditions are after being put through a TV and or a car for both of them. But Damas and Black Jesus will be hungry for revenge, and the Mayhem Tag Team Champions prepared to take on Justice, a team who they have yet to beat. And they've made a fair point of putting that aside. But tonight, Damas, Jesus, and SDC must work together in a Tornado Tag Team match against their challengers / champions at the pay-per-view. And the first people down to the ring, I believe, is going to be our WIW champion, who makes his way down to the ring. Yes, it is. The X Factor, the phenomenal, the iconic Aaron Albright. He's gone by many nicknames in the past, but mainly he goes by these days as the WIW champion. It's been a huge year for this man. In the trial era, he struggled to even keep his job, but now he's a 4-time world champion, the longest reigning WIW champion. He's been a part of some historic matches this year, and I can't imagine he won't be at Insomnia. Remember, of course, it's sudden death. He faces SDC, and he'll definitely have a rematch clause if he loses at the pay-per-view just before Insomnia, which is to be announced. But after that, then it's Insomnia. He can't afford to lose this title this close to Insomnia. Insomnia is right around the corner for everyone. They can almost taste it, and everybody is trying to be a part of the first ever Insomnia, one of the biggest pay-per-views in history. And we continue that road to it as Justice, Lachlan, and AD Nathaniel make their way down to the ring. AD Nathaniel made, to be honest, an incredible speech last week. It was a fantastic speech. He definitely showed his mic abilities. We've only seen Lachlan in the past on the mic. But AD Nathaniel, how much of what he said was true, we don't know. Of course, he accused them of a lot of things, and he's accused a lot of the Mayhem Tag Division of a lot of things as well, and they claim that they're the good guys, they're the ones just trying to clean out the tag division. Well, tonight they get a shot at the Tag Team Champions to do just that, but they do have a Tag Team Championship rematch, and they claim if they capture the title, that's when things will go well for them. For the Tag Team Division, and it will be cleaned out. Here we go! 6-man Tornado Tag Team match. Look at this! A huge scramble in the middle of the ring. Everybody fighting out. And SDC going up, squaring up with the Aussie that is Lachlan. I believe these two have never actually encountered before, so it's interesting to see him strike for that. Black Jesus is targeting AD Nathaniel. I believe those two faced off 2 weeks ago, and it was AD Nathaniel who got the better of them on that occasion. And Aaron Albright striking down with Damas. Damas and Aaron Albright, not exactly with a history against each other, but two very confident and cocky superstars who I'm sure would love to get the better of one another. Remember, this is a Tornado Tag Team match, one fall to the finish. It's not elimination, it's simply one fall to the finish, and that fall must be on the inside, and the ring being cleared out right now. SDC taken out by Lachlan, and he's had to give himself some breathing room. Meanwhile, Aaron Albright with a neck breaker takes out Damas. And now Black Jesus left alone in the ring with all 3 of the members of Team Justice. I guess they'll be called for now. And now look at this, SDC. And now SDC. Oh, and a massive powerbomb. I thought he might have been going for the Injustice there, but he doesn't. SDC explodes back into the ring. Sling Blade takes out Aaron Albright. First takes out Nathaniel, then takes out Albright. And now the Tag Team Champions back in the ring. The League of Gods doing what they do best. Big DDT, and down goes Albright again. Oh, look at this, the hero of wrestling. Talking smack to Lachlan, and then just flies over him. Oh, look at this. Everybody back in the ring now except Black Jesus. The numbers back in favor of Team Justice, and SDC taken out with a suplex. And here are Aaron Albright and SDC colliding once again. The history between the two becoming more and more extensive. And of course, another chapter will open up again if SDC can capture the WIW Championship at sudden death. Oh, look at that military press gutbuster from Black Jesus. And out rolls Lachlan, but now Adrian Nathaniel getting some revenge for his teammate. Oh, and a beautiful super kick. Didn't quite get all of it, but SDC with the super kick. And this is quite a scrap heap of a match. So much chaos happening in this match. And look at this. Damas trying to help his tag team partner in this 2-on-1 situation. But he's taking a moment just to wait for Lachlan to get back to his feet. He sees him on the way back in. There's so much happening right now. All the matchups that we're seeing at the pay-per-view colliding in the ring. Beautiful combination by SDC. Ducked on the one kick, but still met with the roundhouse. And now SDC lining up. Oh, and he's taking out both of them. But rolls out as he didn't land cleanly. But now Black Jesus. Jesus, ready to put it away. Oh no, Lachlan with the counter. And now look at this spinebuster. No, countered by Black Jesus, who's locked in the ring with Justice and out Albright. He's by himself. He needs some reinforcements, and Damas is on the way to provide them. Damas taking him out there, dropping him onto the top turnbuckle, but Albright now helping out Justice. Oh, look at this, play into the crowd. He gets caught playing into the crowd. The roll-up, rope break. SDC, who charged back in the ring, almost stealing the victory. Well counted, though. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Are we going to see it here from the hero of wrestling? The Injustice. Injustice! And Black Jesus and Damas deal with the others. This might be enough as Lachlan down for the count. No, it's not. He kicks out of the Injustice. And wait a minute, on the other side, Damas. There's the elbow drop. And right now, the League of Gods and SDC take control. But now Lachlan ready to get some revenge here. Can he do it? Looking for the combo. Oh, look at that spinning back fist on the other side. And there's a combo, following through with the knee. And trying to turn the tide back in their favour. Oh, look at that, the League of Gods taken out. They might be able to score the pin here on SDC. They don't think they can, because the others are in the way, and that's exactly what they're trying to deal with. SDC, Damas, and Jesus still in control for the moment. How much longer we'll have to keep seeing, but this has been one crazy main event. And now look at this, Albright under fire here. Oh, look at this. Oh, nearly getting the job done over there is Damas. And now a spinebuster by Adrian Nathaniel. Albright's rolled out the ring. Justice left alone with SDC, Damas, and Black Jesus. And now look at this, SDC. Oh, look at it. Wait, look at this on the other side, Damas. Greetings from Greece. Greetings from Greece. And on the opposite side, what's Black Jesus doing here? Black Jesus. Oh, look at that. Muscle buster. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Adrian Nathaniel? No, it's not. Everybody somehow still survives. But Lachlan, Adrian Nathaniel, and Aaron Albright under huge amounts of pressure here so far. SDC rolls out of harm's way. He's taken out of the ring. And now all of a sudden the numbers game turns back to the favour of Justice. And Aaron Albright now might be able to put away Black Jesus, lining up for the super kick. There are bodies in his way, but he moves out of the way for him. Oh, wait, no, Damas blocking the path. Oh, no, he's caught Lachlan. Lachlan tried to get him out of the way, and he caught Lachlan. Lachlan gets hit by his own teammate in the confusion. Aaron Albright takes him out of the equation. Black Jesus from the top rope takes out Nathaniel. And now, oh, look at that. Beautiful standing acrobatics there from SDC. What a crazy match this has been. And now Adrian Nathaniel locked into the ring with just the two members from the opposite side. And now, look at this. Oh, gets him up. Military press slam to Adrian Nathaniel. Well, Justice trying hard to fight back. Aaron Albright hasn't done much in this match so far. Highlight from him, kicking his own teammate. And now look at this. Justice. Oh, the big knee. And it caught him. It busted him open. And now trying to take out the rest of them. Down goes Damas. And down goes Black Jesus. Lachlan and Adrian Nathaniel might have just stolen this match. No. 2.5. And that was so close. But now Aaron Albright trying to finish what he started here on Black Jesus, looking for the Brainbuster. Brainbuster! And now might be able to get the cover. SDC hasn't seen him. Oh wait, he turns around just in time. He spots it and breaks it up. And now Aaron Albright. Oh, look at this. Oh, what a move there. German suplex and bridges into a cover from SDC. What a move. Never seen anyone do that one before. And now begging him to get back to his feet. Was looking for the kryptonite knee. Well caught and well saved though by Adrian Nathaniel. So much craziness going on in this match. No one's backing down. And now Damas. Oh, Jesus, just blatantly taking out the referee there. Trying to maybe keep this match alive for his team. Oh, drops him down there. Oh, and a leg drop. So much chaos. So confusing at times because there's too much happening. You don't know what's happening. But now, looking for the running knee again. SDC might be able to put him away, but the referee's down. The clothesline and the running knee. Clothesline and running knee, but the referee is down. Damas trying to save Black Jesus, who just got taken out with a massive clothesline. The referee's back to his feet, but now no one in a good position to actually be pinned. They're taken out. Damas, how is he going to play to the crowd while all this is going on right now? Adrian Nathaniel squaring up with Jesus again. Lachlan and Damas, as they have done several times, locking up, and SDC taken out by the WIW champion, who's now trying to deal with Black Jesus again, but Jesus just won't stay down. Up on the shoulders, looking for the air raid siren neck breaker. Very nicely done. And now Justice and the tag team champions squaring off in the ring. They're the only two left from each side. And now look at this. Greetings from Greece. Greetings from Greece again. Everybody else is down. This could be it for SDC and the League of Gods. They've done it. SDC and the League of Gods get the better of Aaron Albright and Justice. Adrian Nathaniel suffers the pinfall. What a main event. That was amazing. And I don't think we've ever had a match quite like that one. So chaotic. So much craziness. And what a match it was. But in the end, the hero of wrestling and the League of Gods get the job done. It's Damas who scores the win and gives them momentum coming into the pay-per-view up against Justice. But the question remains, will we be looking at a new champion in SDC? He didn't look too impressive tonight. He had his moments, but he didn't look too impressive. He needs to shake it off and progress, carry that winning momentum to the pay-per-view. Big win tonight for Damas, Black Jesus, and SDC. That's going to do it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.